And we're live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Changeling the Lost Smoky Mountain Wilds. I am William Warshani, and I am your storyteller for this Changeling the Lost Second Edition Chronicle. Joining me today, we have Julia.
Hi, I'm Julia, and I will be playing Cassandra Scott, formerly known as Calliope Daniels Scott. I'm sure I'll stop saying that eventually. She is an elemental polychromatic and currently at odds with literally everybody in the party.
Except her husband.
Oh, of course. He gets a pass.
Spouse. Genderqueer. And Austin.
Hey, I'm Austin. I'm playing Frank and Lisa, the lethopomp and or polychromatic, depending on if it's Frank or Lisa. And I'm a cat.
That explains a lot.
I
said that explains a lot.
And Jeremy.
Hi, I am Jeremy. I am playing Jackson Montgomery or Marlena Dubois, depending on whether they're in drag or out. And I who is a Ferris Chatelaine.
And Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie. I'm playing Joe Arbor, who is an elemental notary.
And we will not be joined this week by Dragon. Normally they are playing Frisian. I keep the name has got the same sort of cadence as Dragon, so I keep getting confused. They're normally playing Frisian, the beast. No, Darkling Hunterheart, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
Sound accurate?
Yes, Darkling Hunterheart. But fortunately, Frisian is in a position where they probably could use some rest, so it all shakes out. But when last we left our motley, some shit had gone down. The group had gotten into some fights, had some encounters with a number of hobgoblins who seemingly were out to hunt either Joe or who was revealed to be the Prince of Dragons, her missing husband. The group reconvened after a bit, at which point the injured Frisian, having witnessed some things that called back to prior even to the hedge trauma, lashed out for violently while injured, and had to be A, sort of held for a second, and B, have their wounds tended to, at which point they just passed the fuck out and are going to be resting for a while. In the aftermath, a bit of an argument broke out between primarily, I will say, Joe, Cassandra, and kind of Jackson. At which point the group split into three different groups, essentially, with Jackson and Frank staying around to keep an eye on the unconscious Frisian, with Cassandra and Tyr sort of in their own position, and Joe and James off, having walked off together in Joe's frustration. As all three of them require some time to process. Title drop. So, Joe, pick up with you. as you sort of stormed off in a direction, and James is sort of following behind, trying to keep up.
Why I can't the fucking nerve. I can't fucking believe this.
You all right?
No, I'm not.
I mean,
Sorry.
it was sort of a silly question, but
No, like these people have been like my family and they've been on my search for answers and they've been on my search for trying to find you, and then to just be accused of being selfish when this entire time my entire worry was not being selfish. I never wanted the spotlight on me. I never wanted to put my, my looking for you above anybody else's thing, but they said go with it and they went with me on it. And now I finally found some answers and I
think they're just wound up because their friend got hurt. They'll be all right. You don't have to worry about it.
You know me better than that.
I can't stop you from worrying about it, but I can tell you don't have to worry about it.
I'm just Motley, that's what, with the exception of Lisa, Frank, whoever they are at the moment, the rest of us had formed a motley, which I was not very sure of, to be honest with you, but we are doing kind of a 30-day return policy on it. And I can't say I regret that, because right now I don't know.
Well,
I thought I knew who these people were, and I don't. I'm glad I didn't jump into anything too permanent.
well, you might not know them, but it's pretty obvious that they do care about you.
Funny way of showing it.
Right, you didn't have siblings, did you?
No.
To be fair, neither did I, but I grew up around families that had brothers and sisters all the time.
I mean, I had cousins, but
I don't think I can think of a month where the two of my best friends' siblings were not at each other's throat for one reason or another. But whenever it came down to it, they were always had each other's back. A fight is a fight. What matters is what comes after it. And I don't know too much about anything regards of what we are and what we experience. Once I got out, I sort of wandered. I didn't really make contact with anybody else, so I'm pretty blind on regards of anything like that. I know more about the hedge than I do about changelings and everything else around here. But if you found a group that wants to take you in and help protect you, can't really say that's a bad thing to have. I can speak for myself, having been alone out here for a while. It gets lonely and it gets dangerous, especially when people start sending shit after you.
but you can like fucking light things on fire though. I can't. But
Yeah, I can breathe fire. It's pretty fucking neat, but I mean, you saw how many hobgoblins tried to pile on me. Only so much fire breath I can do.
You've got a point. you're going to have something to say to this. At moments like these, I just wonder if I would have been better off alone.
Don't you fucking put yourself down like that. If I know one thing, it's that, if nothing else, the keepers understand metaphor. And what do you think they meant when they literally made you the wind beneath our wings?
A way for us to be together. Me supporting you.
And it was just another method of them torturing you because I know you couldn't tell I was there. But I was. I'm never gonna not be.
I know it's been kind of a theme in our relationship, but can we just go?
Where?
Like,
Where to?
I don't even fucking care. I'm tired. I want to be
Well,
selfish.
You're allowed to be selfish. And tell you what, they're probably gonna stew on their own thoughts for a bit. We have a hollow all to ourselves if we need a place to stay for a while.
You've got a point. It's not as far as I'd like. Like another state, continent, planet.
I don't know. It's in another dimension. I don't know you can get much further
Galaxy.
than that. Especially with one of your friends doesn't seem to be too keen to go back there anytime soon.
Friends, nothing. I don't want to go back there anytime soon.
The hedge is dangerous, but there are places that are safer than most. Hollows being one of them. Trods being another one, but less so.
Wherever you go, I go. I'm not leaving you behind again.
Never mind. But I think it'd probably be worthwhile to keep friends around. We can head off for a bit, spend some time alone. I don't think anybody's gonna begrudge us that. But give us some thought.
I'm not ruling out the hollow, but I guess I'll stay put. I guess I owe them that much.
Well, the hollow, like you said, ain't too far as the crow flies in the real world.
As the crow flies or as the dragon flies?
I mean, I only have the wings occasionally. At this point, anyway.
Sorry. Bad jokes. Coping.
Please. If I didn't love your bad jokes, where would I be?
Not a fucking dragon.
So, where you want to go?
I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't. I just feel like, and I shouldn't, and I don't think I can. Oh, God. Why am I in my own head?
Because you're always in your head, even before all this.
Shut up. Oh, God, I even missed your nagging shit. I don't.
Let's take a walk.
Walking is good. We can do walking. Walking works.
So the two of you just start to wander the park, essentially, because that's you stopped at a park. Might as well walk the park.
There we go.
Meanwhile, Cassandra and Tyr. The two of you have not gone too far from the rest of the group, but you are like on the opposite end of the parking lot at your vehicle.
Oh, at Tyr's Blazer.
Yeah.
She's going to sit back on the tailgate again, reach into that compartment, pull out another beer.
You all right? I mean, the answer is obviously no, but
I just cannot understand the idea of being so wrapped up in something that you don't see somebody bleeding out next to you. I trust me, I fucking get it. I get where she's. I get where her brain is. I get where she's at right now. I was in her shoes 2 days ago.
you really can't imagine that. I think you can if you try hard enough. I don't think it's that hard.
She'll just sort of look away from him and crack open the beer. Brazine could have played it out.
Could have, but he didn't.
Oh, her husband drank. That's for sure. At least. He always told me not to let my emotions get the best of me.
We can't stop it occasionally. We have emotions. They are gonna be there. Sometimes they're gonna be really strong. Sometimes they're gonna cloud our judgment. It's just part of being human.
She'll just blink a few times, raise an eyebrow, and look at him.
You might be different, but you're still you.
And she'll just sort of go a few shades of pink and take a drink and look away from him. Sweet talking isn't going to save everything, you know.
Doesn't need to.
I don't know what to say to fix this.
I don't think you need to say anything. I think you need to give it time. And I think you just need to be there for them. For all of them.
She's probably going to try and hit me, but first thing I'm going to do when she comes back is try and give her a hug. I just cannot believe that I reacted that way.
I can believe that. I've seen you get angry.
She'll just sort of lean forward and put her knees on her, or her elbows on her knees. Please tell me that neither one of them got my temper. Please.
Oh, the kids? No. Oh, well, Penthesilea.
No, I mean yes.
Modi's more calm. Modi's got more of my disposition, which is ironic considering his name. Penthesilea, let's just say that she might not be much older than her brother, but she does take the older sibling role very seriously. Anytime anyone gives Modi any amount of flack, and she's on them like a fucking dog on a bone.
She will look at him, look like she has something to say. She's only taken about 3 drinks out of that can. Chugs the entire thing, puts it back in the compartment. I think I'm ready to meet him.
You sure?
She will stand up and brush herself off. Tia, sweetie, please don't try and talk me out of it.
I'm not trying to talk you out of it. I just want to make sure you're sure. You did just have a couple of beers.
Well, Glacius calls it liquid courage for a reason.
Yeah.
I do promise to be sober when I meet them, so if it's going to be tonight, we need to wait a couple hours.
Understandable.
I feel like being made of water turned me into a fucking lightweight, but
I mean, I imagine you would immediately start to dilute with alcohol, so...
She will grab his hand and begin walking him towards Jackson.
Mhm.
Not saying another word.
So, Jackson...
I can watch two pivot two. What the fuck has happened?
I'm
No,
not.
I'm sorry. Let me be clear. I know what happened.
Oh, okay. Could you tell me then?
It's an expression.
All right, Lisa, you are still afraid for the next 12 hours.
Yes. I'm in a heightened emotional state, and any sense of any fire will send me overloaded. Yes,
Pretty much.
I remember. That's why I'm Lisa as well.
Please don't light another cigarette around her.
So we had a very stressful situation. Sandra was understandably angry over a let's say a mistake that was made.
Okay.
Sandra did not handle it well.
Okay.
And so they charged off in different directions because they do not want to deal with each other right now.
Oh. So we need to work out a convoluted scheme to get them to
Nope.
come together and settle the differences.
Nope. Absolutely not.
She has walked slightly off the distance. They're both walking the park. Maybe we can.
Lisa?
I can pretend to be a cat, and I can run down the road and get them to run into the same part together, and then I can cause some sort of conflict that will cause them to forget their problems and come together.
Yeah, give me patience. All right. So we're not going to do that.
When you say
Because-
we, am I included?
I
in
mean,
that?
you and I both, together or individually, are not going to do that. Because while I understand the logic that you're coming from. This is not a Looney Tunes cartoon. And therefore, that's only going to make things worse. We are going to wait till one of them comes back. We're going to see how they're feeling, because they may very well be understanding that things were heated. They may have calmed down. They may be open to discussion. And then we are going to take it from there, based on how things are going. They both probably said things that either now or later they will have regretted.
But if they can't figure out how to work out their differences when they're both in heated emotions, won't this just keep happening? Like, I feel like
There's
things are
always-
going to keep happening around us that's going to cause heated emotion. If we can't figure out how to
Yes,
communicate while there's heated
because-
emotions, then
You have impeccable logic of a 7-year-old. Unfortunately, we're not 7-year-olds. And so that doesn't work. And I'm not saying that as an insult, to be clear. I'm not trying to read you. I'm saying that it is a admirable, if it is an admirable notion that is lacking in some context.
okay.
Good thought. Poor implementation plans. We
Okay.
will just give them time to cool off. I think it will help if they are both with their significant others who provide perspective. This is not the end of the world.
Okay.
We've all been through worse. I guarantee it. We've all been through worse than this argument.
So we just wait.
We wait.
It's at about this time that Tyr and Cassandra are on their way back.
Wasn't that
There we
bad?
go. So how are you?
Did you have a discussion about your inner feelings that resulted in a better handling of the situation, and you're ready to come to terms with how you feel and how you feel about other people around you, and you can discuss in a mature, responsible way?
I had alcohol and I realized I was being an idiot.
Yes, that was the short version of what you said.
I feel like you go to alcohol a lot when you have problems.
She'll raise a finger and then just sort of slowly drop it.
Funny thing is, so does Jackson.
So does Jackson. Just like
I'm
two
not
people at
sure
once, just-
who I'm not sure who Lixa was talking to in that moment.
Was that this much of a lush before I was taken?
I feel like there's a Tyr just in my head just copies the Falcon Jip. She's out of line, but she's right.
She'll just look at Tyr. Was I this? Did I drink this much before I was taken?
Honestly, you could handle a lot more before you were taken.
That's probably fair.
I need to ask. I know I was this much lush before I was taken.
I don't know that you
Uh.
always drank a lot, but when you did drink, you could handle plenty.
Hey, Jackson, what's a lush?
Somebody who drinks a lot. or imbibes other intoxicants that are
Oh.
the buzzy, floaty, happy intoxicants, not. You wouldn't call a heroin user a lush, generally, as a rule, or a cocaine user. But alcohol, ecstasy, things like that, you might more call a lush. It's generally used with boozes.
Beer and marijuana, usually.
Yeah.
Okay.
May have gotten a little out of line and smacked Joe's husband.
No.
Yeah, I know.
Really.
To be fair, he's got scales. I think he can take it.
It's not the point, but fair.
I mean, you don't want to bottle up your emotions. You should always let people know how you're feeling, though hitting them is not the best answer.
In constructive ways, and there is a time and a place, and you know that. I'm not saying anything you don't already know, and I'm not going to make you feel worse. It is much more gratifying to put it this way and let you guilt trip yourself into being a better person.
You are sinister. Okay.
No, she's a mother.
When you have raised as many, yes, when you have raised as many daughters as I have, you learn how to. Regardless, probably not best to approach, but maybe you should send a text asking if he can talk.
She will pull out her phone, check first to see if she has any messages, and then
I'm going to assume that Joe is not sending any texts right now.
Nope. Radio silence.
so she will send, "Hey, I know things got a little heated, but I'd really like to talk. Send."
So, Joe, you and James are just sort of wandering the park.
Mm-hmm.
James sort of taking in the breeze, sort of feeling the air around. It's nice to actually be walking around nature and not be worried I'm going to be attacked for it.
Yeah, I've missed this.
Well, all things considered, it's not. It's a little different when you got scales and know that you can probably snap most of this stuff. But it's nice to be back, if nothing else, especially with you. About that point that your phone goes off. Ah, what did I tell you? I think it's some time to cool down. He says, having no idea what the context of the text is.
I mean, I know things are different now, but at least again, we're here together. And I feel like I can do anything. Except answer that fucking text.
Really?
I'm mad.
I mean, you're allowed to be.
I can't remember. Katie can't remember. Does Joe know that Cassandra made the deal on her behalf to find Joe's fetch?
Mm-hmm.
Does she know
Yes.
that? Okay, that's right. I
Yes.
thought she did. I just wanted to, like, before I did this. Throughout this whole thing, she's been like a sister to me. What I imagine, a sister would be. Um, I mean, she made a deal for me just so I could find out more information about my fetch, which so I thought I was so excited. So I thought of all people she would understand.
Probably does. She was just panicked because she saw a friend bleeding out.
It's like, okay, this is gonna sound strange. But do you ever get somebody a present and you're so excited because it's the absolute perfect present you could find and you've been anticipating for months and weeks? And then they open it and then they just have no reaction.
I've been that person. It's not that they have no reaction, it's that there's so much going through their brain right now that they have to figure out how to react first. I'm fairly certain that when she has the time to process exactly what's going on, she'll be very happy for you.
I'm being petty, aren't I?
Just a bit, but you're allowed to be petty. Be petty as long as you want.
No, I've been feeling that type of way for a long time. I think I got to put it down.
If you want.
It's nobody's fault we're in this situation.
Now that one is factual.
Jo will take a deep breath and she will take out her phone and see Cassandra's text. And I just immediately forgot what it said. Oh, she says she wants to talk.
Okay. Now the question is, do you want to talk?
I got a lot to be angry at right now. I don't think I can handle anything else. And she'll text, okay, sure, and send.
How we make our way back?
Yeah. Though, I mean, be prepared to run because I still haven't forgotten about that.
I think it'll be fine. I'm like, yeah, I felt that slap, but I also have scales. I can take it.
It's not the feeling it's the principle behind it.
To be fair, I probably deserved that. I wasn't paying enough attention to realize how bad off the friend was.
I mean, then maybe I deserve to be slapped. You didn't even know who he was.
No, but it was clearly somebody they cared about. And he did fight in my defense. I should have paid more attention.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
And exactly, the past is the past, but I understand the reaction, and I can take it. Didn't exactly
Yeah.
break my jaw. Hard to do that.
Yeah. Just very protective, I guess.
I'm gonna say this a lot. You're allowed to be. Just gotta understand there's more context than just that.
No, I shouldn't complain about anything ever again now that I've found you. But God,
Don't
I
you fucking say
fucking
that. You're
hate
gonna
it
have
when
a
you're
lot to
right.
complain about. The one through line between these two changelings is they both have very good spouses.
They do. Fine. Do the grown up thing. I'll go talk.
Fine.
Fine, but I'm gonna complain the whole time.
100% kicking a rock as you walk your way back.
Yes. Fuck that rock. Fuck that tree. Yeah.
So eventually, a few minutes pass, but Joe and James reappear as well.
How you doing?
I think the walk did some good.
Excellent. And
Being an adult and I don't like it.
it sucks, don't it? And Jackson just takes a step back to make Cassandra and Joe are just there facing each other. There's nothing in between.
Lisa's going to look at the two of them and be like, right, I'm going to go on a walk. Bye. And walk off.
Jackson, I
Yeah.
really appreciate
Yes.
being mediator. Please don't let her
I'm
on.
not going anywhere. I am just stepping back out of the picture for now.
She'll turn to look at Joe.
Hit me. I deserve it. Come on, you slapped the shit out of my husband who didn't know what the hell was going on. I knew better. Come on.
She's gonna walk up to Joe and hug her.
Bitch, you missed.
I'm
Did.
I'm just glad you're okay. I'm so happy for you. I just caught up in the. I'm so sorry, Joe.
I really wanted you to understand.
Sweetie, I do.
I was so excited. Like yours was like the reaction I was waiting for because you're like you're like the sister I never had, and this just feels like a very sister thing. And I don't know, maybe part of that is also like slapping your in-laws. I don't know.
I don't remember if I had siblings, but I remember squabbling with somebody when I was little. And the fighting isn't fighting. Babe, it's love. I get that I was angry, and I get it wasn't the reaction you want. I'm sorry for that. James, it is fantastic that you are here, and I cannot wait to see the two of you blossom your relationship and see you move forward in your marriage. And hopefully we can put some shit behind us so you all can start trying to live a somewhat normal life. I should just sort of look at Tyr. I know it's going to be hard, and it's, life is going to kick you in the ass every step of the way, but it's going to be worth it. And who knows, one day, if the two of you decide, kids are in the future, and then from there, you got your own little family of. She'll look between the two of you. Wind dragons. That's about the lindworm, I suppose.
Fire breathing toddlers. Hun,
That's gonna be a nightmare.
Hun, we might want to think about that.
We can adopt if we need to.
I was about to say adoption is a fantastic thing. I cannot express how happy I am for you. I'm so sorry. I need to be in better control of my emotions. And if I don't, I feel like I'll fuck over this entire motley.
I mean, if your partner is anything like mine, they spent the last half hour to hour telling you what an illogical idiot you're being.
Not in so many words, but yes.
Isn't it so fucking irritating when they're right?
She'll look at Tyr. Not at all.
Tyr and
Sure.
James share a knowing look.
She'll look back. She'll look back at Joe and mouth yes.
I'm about to say I'm calling bullshit.
Tyr and James just look at each other, and there is the immediate sense of telepathy between the two of them.
I think it might be best if we all try to go the rest of the day without anything. You know what? I'm not putting that out in the ends of the universe. How about we pack up and we head home?
Well, here's the question. Let's take this as literally or as philosophically as you want to. Where's home?
For the time being, it's Jackson's abode. For the future, I don't quite frankly know, but I got something really important to do tonight, and I know I just said we all need to get home and relax, but why don't you, James, Frizzy, and Lisa, and Jackson head back to his place, and I'm gonna go meet my kids.
I'm really proud of you. That's big.
Speaking of Lisa, where'd she go? Tyr says.
I don't know.
Walking
I don't
around, Joe.
care at this particular moment.
We cannot have her wandering around by herself.
Let me be clear here. I like Frank and Lisa just fine. Frank and Lisa are not officially part of the Motley yet. So if Frank or Lisa causes untold psychological, otherwise physical, any sort of damage, I am not responsible for that. I am responsible for making sure you two are getting along just fine. Therefore, my priorities were here. Let's go look for the fire, because I'm sure that's where it'll be. Also, as a caveat to words that were just said, obviously, all y'all are welcome at any amount of time. However, my place has thin walls, so if you are going to have to coordinate your fucking to make sure that it's only happening one at a time, because I can only turn the radio up so loud.
I have my own house, and she'll begin walking.
No,
Hollow?
I think the both of us have
Yes.
other arrangements for that kind of thing.
I am just putting it out there so it does not become an awkward situation later.
No. Okay.
If everybody ends up holed up at my home, because we are holding down the fort because there's something scary out there and we all need to be together. Y'all gonna have to coordinate is all that I'm saying. You're gonna have to you're gonna have to get a calendar and put a schedule up. For Frisian and
I'm not making that
Lisa's
joke,
sake,
James says.
What'd you say?
James just says, nope, I'm not making that joke.
Probably wise.
and Jackson's just gonna go, Lisa!
Meanwhile, Lisa, where do you go off to?
That's a fabulous question. I just picked a direction and started walking.
Was there any correction? Are you being distracted by anything, or are you being distracted by everything?
Yeah. This is not only Lisa, this is heightened emotions Lisa. This is the worst type of Lisa.
That somebody just let wander off.
Okay, let's not do somebody, because that bitch. That's how we got in this problem in the first place.
Look,
Somebody-
for once, Lisa read the room.
Somebody, as in all 5 individuals that were standing there, yourself included. Don't play that shit. Sorry.
So, you're getting a bit distracted by the presence of squirrels and other animals in the nearby woods. And right about the time that you hear, so you are sort of coming around a certain section of this park, and you start to sense the presence of a door somewhere around here. And you get the feeling that you can tell one of these, like, particularly gnarled trees has a door in it. Just as you're about to try and look around and see where you can find that door, you hear Jackson hollering for you.
I'll be right there. I found something interesting. And I'll walk
Oh,
over.
fuck.
I was about to ask if Jackson was in heels, but no.
No, Jackson is not. Jackson is total boy drag now.
Jackson's currently in street clothes.
Yep.
Jackson
Also-
takes off running.
As if that would slow him down.
Yeah. So go ahead, Lisa, and roll me. Wits and survival.
Okay, my wits aren't great.
You don't say.
I know it's a shocker. My mental stats were my dumb stats.
I'm sorry. I had to. It's very.
It is all good. I designed the character a specific way. The character is playing exactly the way she was designed. What happens if I spend a willpower?
You add 3 dice to the roll.
Let's spend a willpower on this. I'm glad I added something.
1 success. So as you look around, some of these trees are older than others. There's a variety of different tree types here, but there is a particularly there's a particularly large and gnarled ancient tree that you sort of find. It has like you know the shapes that some trees grow in, where the root structure is sort of like started to rise up from the ground eroding out from around it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that root structure forms a natural warren that looks almost like a doorway.
Yeah. Except it is a doorway.
Except it is actually a doorway. You find that this ancient elm tree is probably the doorway that you're sensing.
Huh. How hard is it to get back out of doorways?
As long as you stay within sight of them and you just walk back out them. It just takes a glamour to open it.
I'm gonna spend a glamour.
You spend a glamour, and you sort of put your hand along the bark of the elm, and you feel the essence sort of shimmer into it, and you start to see the inside of the bark begins to glow faintly green, and you just sort of reach a hand out and push into the bark, and it parts before you, and you pass through. About literally at that moment, Jackson arrives.
So I see him going through.
Yep.
Lisa, no, come. Lisa, come. I'm not following you. So you go there. You are waiting. You are coming back on your own. And we are. If you get trapped, I swear to God, I'm not coming after you. You're gone. All right.
That's the last thing you hear, Lisa, as you step through.
Burn
How much
this
of that did I even hear?
fucking ground.
Like the first half of it, probably.
The I'm not coming after you bit.
Yeah. You step through, and you find yourself standing in what appears to be a circle of ancient trees, almost like a druid circle, like you would find like various sort of standing stone circles, like Stonehenge, but less dramatic, and more just trees. You can see the ground beneath you has this sort of like knotted lattice work of roots that forms almost this sort of spiraling pattern around the center of it. And as you look around, you can see directly outside of this ring of trees, you just see the brambles and briars that make up the majority of the more difficult terrain to pass in the hedge. And you see that you are standing in a very small and oddly isolated trod. A trod is a bit of the hedge that is more static. Not necessarily completely, but where the hedge is constantly shifting and changing, and the different paths can often just completely rearrange themselves between visits. Trods are slightly more stable and often retain a at least similar appearance and layout every time you come by them.
How safe would I judge this to be?
Well, looking around, you don't see any immediate danger inside the trod, which appears to just be this circle of trees and this sort of ritual space that you're standing in. The brambles immediately outside tell you that this is a very small trod, and any number of things could be waiting either in the thorns or immediately outside the thorns. Especially because you have a hard time seeing through them. They're very thick around this area. But what's odd is that typically trods like this are like connected to things. Like you would typically, trods are usually paths. They're not usually like lone, isolated cul-de-sacs, basically.
There must be more than meets the eye here. Hello.
Roll me manipulation, expression, and weird.
My manipulation is not great.
Or you can roll presence instead of manipulation, whichever's better.
That is much better. Expression and weird?
Yes. Oh, roll 2 more d10s for those 10s. Okay, just the 2 successes. So with 2 successes, as you sort of call out, you feel a rustle in the trees as if they respond to your presence. And as you sort of look around, you see there's a faint tremor in the roots that sort of make up this spiraling pattern. And you get the sense that this trod definitely serves some form of purpose. And its presence is very active. You get the sense that it is living even more than the traditional hedge is. And you get the sense that these trees serve more of a purpose than just a barrier to denote the edge of the trod. You don't know what that purpose is, or if you can even figure out more about it in your current situation, or if you might need something else or even more information or a different circumstance to figure out more. But you know there is something more to this, even if you can't find it right now.
I'm going to walk up to one of the trees. It's probably not a long walk. And place my hand upon it. So you can hear me. Well, I mean, most trees can hear me, but you can actually respond.
There's that faint rustle in the bark. They seem to be responding to your presence, but you're not getting any direct like words or any language or any kind of communication that you understand.
Perhaps it would be silly to assume you just speak English. And Lisa will just start singing softly, just through various pitches, starting with low and then moving on to high, and seeing if they respond differently to any of the different sounds or vibrations of her voice, all while having her hand on one of the trees.
Roll me. It's going to be expression again. Presence and expression again. Also with your weird again. Roll me one more time. This is a different
Alright.
situation.
I'm gonna willpower this because I really want a response. I mean, Lisa really wants a response. I don't know how much I want a response, but
Give me 2 more d10s. Three successes. You start to sort of go up and down the scales, just sort of testing different octaves, pitches, and notes. And the thing you notice is that the rustling and whistling through the trees changes pitch in harmony. Not necessarily mashing your note, but the timbre of the wind does change with the pitch of your song. And there's a resonance there.
Lisa's gonna start singing some old nursery rhymes. Just trying to see if she can get the trees to sing in harmony.
You go through some like older various like fairy tale rhymes, and there is a resonance between the trees here and the note and rhythm of these sort of fairy tale folk songs. The circle of trees seems a little more lively as the notes match, as more and more of them seem to keep in sync, and you get the sense that there is a power in this place, and the resonance of these trees is specific and has a purpose that can be gleaned. You suspect it would require someone with more academic knowledge or occult knowledge than you have.
Yeah. I mean, she's just going to enjoy singing for a good like 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, and again, you get this odd, haunting melody that rises out of it.
And sort of curious for the last song. She's going to pull her phone out and see if she can record.
Yeah, you can record. You can record the audio.
Yeah.
And you take it back. Do you try and record video?
No.
So yeah, you record some of the audio as you go through one more nursery rhyme, and sort of hope that your mic is picking up the wind appropriately.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming you step back out after you get your recording.
Yeah.
It's about 10 minutes later. Lisa returns, roughly in sync time with with their time inside the hedge.
Oh, good, you survived.
Why wouldn't I?
You know what?
Thing-
I'm not even. Nope. We are not going down that discussion panel. We've already had one person slap one person tonight, and I would rather it not that number not be doubled. So,
But listen, I say, and I pull out my phone and I start playing back the recording. The trees sing really nicely.
does
Does it actually play back?
So yeah, so it does play back the noise that you hear. The thing that comes through is that, as all things have a mask, even sounds and visuals, this audio sounds You who have the second sight of the changeling can tell what it actually sounds like. But you also can hear the mask, in which it sounds more like some very clever audio editing.
Okay. There's no concern then that this is going to bring bigger problems upon us
I mean, if something else was second
in the
sight,
greater world.
yeah, like not necessarily from the mundanes, but if something else with second sight picks up on that, they might know where it came from, and thus where things that heard it came from.
Why don't you keep that quiet for now, sweetie?
Lovely place, though, she says, and she's going to look around for the name of the park and make some notes down in her phone, remembering where this place is for future purpose. And what'd you say the thing was called again, William?
The Trod.
It's a trod, so it'll still be there.
Delightful. Shall we go?
Yes, that's probably wise. Is everything good
Oh, I'm
with?
sorry. I was saying that as an open invitation, but it was not an option. We are going. Yes, things are fine with them.
Good. I wouldn't want them to be angry at each other. They seem like such nice friends.
Yes, we are not walking fast enough. Let's go.
What time of year is it again?
It's approaching autumn, like getting into closer to Halloween.
Aren't the leaves lovely?
When you say approaching autumn, getting close to Halloween, if it's getting close to Halloween, it's autumn.
Yeah, it's early autumn essentially. Yeah,
Like, are we past September 21st?
yeah, we are definitely past.
Okay,
It's probably the middle of August, like late August.
We middle of August. Okay,
Sorry,
not
late September.
late.
I got
September.
I got the 2 months backwards. Late September.
No worries, you're good. So more or less, we have just passed
Yeah, you just passed the
we've
threshold
just
of
passed
autumn.
solstice.
Yeah.
Okay. We are back. We can head off wherever we are heading off to. I believe that was my place and other places and so on and so forth.
Um,
Has everybody already just left?
no.
No.
Where am I staying?
Oh, dear.
Joe's gonna look at Jackson and go, be nice.
Okay, first of all, of this group, I am not the person who has to be asked to be nice in current situations.
I slapped one person.
I can go back to my
I'm
home in
not
the henge
judging.
for the night.
Huh?
No.
What?
No.
No, honey.
I don't even know what you said, but no. I honestly think I should be commended on my patience and my reasonability and my being balanced and not going off on anybody right now.
You did very well today, Jackson.
Thank you.
There you go. Okay.
It's good to feel appreciated. Now, you can come stay at my place for the night.
Like a sleepover?
No.
Oh.
Jackson, is there an attic or like a like a crawl space? Maybe Lisa would really like a little like hideout. Maybe a cat tree. Maybe a real tree.
I do like
not
to climb
have a-
trees.
I do not have a cat tree. The awesome trees on the outside, as you have probably noticed, maybe you have not. They're awesome. The awesome trees outside. Other than that, oh dear God. Yes, there are places that outside of my direct living space, it is a warehouse after all. There are some places that have been sort of cordoned off. They were cordoned off for a reason.
Where they keep the bodies.
That look you're giving me makes me hate you with every fiber of my soul. Let's go.
The funny thing is, I don't know which one he's talking to.
You.
I think I missed something.
You sure did.
Okay. Was it important?
No, but and as we get in the car and start driving, I'm assuming that Cassandra is going off her own.
Yeah.
Lisa.
Mhm.
Well, you are staying under my roof. There are certain rules
Of course.
that I'm going to ask you to abide by.
Naturally.
First of all, I have a sewing room. That is my room. Please do not go in that room. Second of all, I have a number of storage objects littered around the place. Suitcases, crates, that sort of thing. It's just things that I have picked up over the years. There's nothing necessarily important in them. However, I would ask that you not go poking around in them.
Don't open other people's stuff. Common sense.
Wonderful. Then we will be perfectly fine.
And
So,
just to be clear, Lisa, under the roof is not a literal term. Even if you slept out in a fucking tree, the rules still apply.
And I think we understand each other.
I've crashed on enough couches,
Yes.
and I know sewing rooms. You do not touch somebody else's sewing space. You do not
You know,
touch.
we might get along much better than I thought we were going to.
Well, shit, I didn't have that on my bingo card.
Neither did I.
while the one vehicle heads off back towards Jackson's abode, Tyr looks over at Cassandra. All right, you ready to go?
She will shake her head no and get into the car.
Accurate.
Well, you have an hour or two before the kids get home anyway, so you have some time to prepare.
That's just bad. That's
Oh,
an hour to stay inside your head.
As I say, that's waiting time. All kinds of shit can happen.
I mean, we have an hour. And she'll just look at her phone and start texting.
Coordinating schedule.
Tyr just like cocks their head for a second and is like, nope, I'm not making that joke either.
I mean, it don't have to be a joke, sweetie.
No, the joke that James was about to make that I also thought of.
Squinty-eyed glare.
There. Stop digging.
I don't
Put
know.
the shovel away.
I don't know if introducing you to a new friend was a great idea or a horrible one.
Dig up, you fool.
I think James and I are going to get along great.
Noted. Texting Joe, your husband's already teaching my bad things. Send.
Joe laughs at the text and like, James has that effect on people. Send.
When I woke up this morning and made pancakes, and last night was such a good night, and I did not expect all of this, so I do have to say I'm sorry.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, a good book, a great play, a story from a friend. Uh, Hell, even painting a plastic model kit, playing out with the kids. That's interesting. This was traumatic.
Maybe so. But I think you came out better for it. And I mean, now I'm aware that some fetch is sending hobgoblins out after people. So that's a new lead to follow.
I suppose you're out there, but we certainly made a mess today, didn't we?
Yeah, my contacts will clean it up. At least the one with the hobgoblins. The rest of it, I mean, that's on you.
Yeah, I know. I get that Joe and I seem to be okay right now, but I want to. They always tell you to, you know, actions speak louder than words and whatnot. So I really want her to realize that I'm not only am I happy for her, but I have forgiven the slight oversight of shit that has happened. So
Give it time. I'm sure they'll understand. Actions speak louder than words, but a rash action can cause more harm than good. Don't push too hard too fast.
sometimes I absolutely hate your logic.
You taught half of it to me. You're a writer.
Listen, I can impart that wisdom and still be pissed off that it's used against me. So that being said, she stares at her phone for a minute. Is there anything I need to know before? What did you tell them?
They know that I have a night job now and that it sometimes gets a little dangerous.
Sweetie,
I've been slowly bringing the idea that you might still be around and that you might show up again to them over the past few nights. they're excited to see you.
Do they know I'm their mom, or do they think I'm
They
a
know.
friend?
They know that you're mom. They've been asking ever since I broached the topic to them when they'll get to see mommy again.
Oh, she asked them. I'm not changing my mind. I'm just it's a lot to process.
All right.
There's
got
a lot
an
of
hour.
parts to it.
And it doesn't have to be tonight.
Waited 4 years. I want to hold my babies again.
All right. And at that, we'll go ahead and take our break.
Alrighty.
Whenever we take our break, you take your break. So sit up, stretch your legs, do whatever you need to do, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
We're back.
Yeah. Welcome back. So, picking up where we left off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, Sandra, eventually you arrive back at you want to say Tyr's house, but then you realize it's your house as well. As Tyr parks the blazer and looks over at you.
She's got her eyes closed and it's just every shade of blue imaginable just coursing through her.
We have arrived.
And she'll look down at the blood all over her clothes and look over at Tyr and all the blood on him.
Yeah, we should get cleaned up in the time that we got.
Not that I am like completely against any of the outfits in your ensemble, but do you have anything a little more toned down? Just
Yeah.
Okay.
I do have mom clothes for home, yes.
And I assume they've already gotten out of the car at this point.
Yeah.
But she will just sort of stop dead in her tracks. Did you get rid of?
No. All your outfits are still there.
It's a change of pace to have somebody who has hope as a motivator.
I mean, I know they wouldn't. I don't know what the hell those things are, how they think, but I know they wouldn't leave a replacement if they felt like they were gonna, if they were worried about something, if they weren't worried about it ever coming back.
And I suppose you're right. What else of mine did you keep?
I didn't throw anything out unless I had to. So most of it. Your journals are all on a shelf. Most of your writing notes.
And she will just narrow her eyes at him. What did you read?
The footnotes on your most recent work a little bit. Not much else.
Then you didn't find it. She would just sort of pat him on the shoulder and walk ahead of him.
Okay. I'm curious now.
That was the point.
And she will sort of playfully run ahead of him. And almost like melting into giddy teenager as he approaches the door, just widest smile on her face.
He will casually approach, like just wanting to see where this is going more than anything. It's just sort of. Raise an eyebrow at you.
Well, are you gonna let me in?
I feel like you want me to.
Duh. is my house.
This is where Cassandra finally reveals that she's secretly been a vampire the whole time.
That it is. And to that end,
Fucking
as
twins.
he produces an extra key and hands it to you. You should be able to let yourself in.
just in case I was right. Here, be careful. Go ahead, let yourself in. You can do it, right?
Then she will unlock the house, scamper inside.
He will follow after.
And she will just point at the couch. Sit.
Okay, I was gonna get changed too, but okay.
30 seconds.
He nods and sits down, making very sure to keep the front end of his outfit off the couch so he doesn't get blood on it.
She
Trying
will
real hard to not to make jokes.
she will disappear into a part of the basement that he probably has not been around and just sort of move a few boxes, take the lid off of one, and take out a small journal. She'll go back upstairs. And we'll walk up with the small, probably about 6-inch tall, 4-inch wide, about 3 inches deep journal. This, not like my other works. I can't even believe I remembered it, but it's a cute little coming of age story that I wrote. About a set of twins. Named by the gods. You really should look at the basement more. Come on, let's go get changed. And Cassandra will pick a very down to earth blue sundress. She will put in earrings. Wash the goth makeup off, or the punk makeup off.
Mm.
I kind of want them to see me without. I want them to see me.
Fair enough. Tyr disappears for a minute and comes back. And Tyr comes back dressed in a word like a mom you've seen in a movie. You know, the long sleeved red shirt that sort of slings off of one shoulder, and the like loose fitting but definitely well tailored pants. Their hair has been let down, so it just kind of drapes around the shoulders and sort of leans off to one side. The facial hair is still there. They haven't shaved it all off, but very much dressed in that sort of wine mom aesthetic almost.
That's new.
Like I said, I have mom clothes for home.
Are you still keeping that at home, or are you?
I mean, I go out however I feel like being dressed on any individual day, but you know.
Good. I don't want you lessening yourself because of the world.
I have guns. They can't stop me.
And I have a soul. It doesn't mean anything. Somebody's gonna say the wrong thing at one point, and then
I have guns and kill monsters for a living. I'm really not afraid of some asshole who thinks he knows best.
that's true. And now you got your kick-ass life back. So
Yeah. And now I'm even less afraid.
she will check the time on her phone.
You got about half an hour left.
Do you want me to make something for dinner?
I can make some food if you want. Or you can if you want. Whichever you prefer.
Wait, what the fuck am I doing? She will pull out her phone. What could I'm gonna guess that did they inherit the shellfish allergy from me?
No, actually, neither of them have any allergies. I was
Oh,
surprised. At that.
fan fucking tastic.
Yeah, we took him to a doctor's. Well, no, yeah, this was before they turned 4. We took him to a doctor as soon as we could.
She will she stopped like a statue when he said the word we. When he went on, she began moving again.
Yeah, I saw that pause. No, there hasn't been anyone else.
Look, 4 years is a long time. We just
Nowhere near long enough for me to give up on you.
if you were any cheesier, I'd have to serve you wine.
I mean, I am dressed like
Italian it is.
that.
So she will order dinner for all of them. It should be here about 10 minutes after the kids get in, so they'll be able to get settled. And
Sounds like a plan.
I don't know how you want to do this.
Just let him come home and see you.
Right. They cannot see. They just see me.
Yeah. And they don't have to know any of that until you think that they're ready for it, if you even do. That might be a thing we don't teach our kids about.
Let's at least maybe until they're teens or something. Not they're still babies.
We're both involved in the secret world that exists in the shadows. It's only a matter of time before they figure something out about it.
I guess, but
It's just a matter of how much do you want to let them build a worldview that is a lie before you break it down.
Not just yet. In time. I don't think they're at the age that they would. I think they would believe me the way that kids believe in magic. I don't think they believe me in the way that vampires and werewolves are real and will kill you. And your mom's made out of water.
That's a thing that can approach as it comes.
Her best friend's made out of air. And fucking hell. You're right. That should be the first thing from my mind right now. All I need to do is not break down when I see him.
I think you can afford a little breaking down.
They've had 4 years without me. The first thing the first thing you need to see is their mother just completely losing it. But I will not beat myself up if that is my reaction.
At that point, you hear a diesel engine out front. Oh, that'll be them getting dropped off.
Her entire body just sort of freezes up. Okay, so downstairs.
Wait in the living room. All right. Tyr walks you down to the living room, sets you on the couch, and a moment later, the front door opens, and a pair of small kids walk in. 6 and slightly, and a few minutes older than 6. As Modi and Penthesilea step inside, and immediately as Penthesilea steps in, she locks eyes with you and steps aside to let Modi in, who then also looks at you and then looks at Penthesilea. And there's just a moment of nothing happening. And then Modi just yells, "Mom!" and runs directly over to you and throws his arms around you.
She'll kneel down and wrap her arms around him. Just sort of look at Penthesilea.
Penthesilea, having taken the more hesitant approach, just sort of walks up and like has her arms like folded behind her back as she sort of steps up within arm's reach.
As soon as she's within arm's reach, she has gotten a hold of whatever body part she can grab and just pulling her into the hug with her brother.
She's taken by surprise a bit, but when she's pulled in, she does return the hug.
I've missed you two so much. I'm so sorry.
Penthesilea sort of looks up. Dad, looks over. Dad said that You might be back. We were wondering when we get to see you. Modi, where did you go?
That's a long and complicated story for another time. How about right now we just I order some dinner. Um, I know that you liked my cooking when I was here last, but I figured stress free for everybody might be nice.
Okay.
Um, and it's just good to say it to you. Yeah, you've both gotten so big. I can't believe.
As you look, they both have what would traditionally be like a dark brown hair, but Modi's a little bit more dirty blonde. You can sort of see the blonde ends of the ends of his hair, sort of probably beginning to fade to more traditional brown. Whereas Penthesilea actually has the bottom half of her hair dyed red.
You you both have so much to tell me. And I want to hear all of it. I want to know everything the two of you have done since I've been gone, and everything you did with you. She'll look at Tear, Dad, while I was gone.
They call me whatever they want to call me.
I know.
It switches.
I just. I need a minute. She will let go of the kids and walk upstairs to the bathroom. Shut the door. Lean her back against it and slide down to the floor. She'll pull out her phone. She's gonna call Joe.
Go.
Yes.
You and James have been at uh, Jackson's place for maybe an hour by now.
Okay.
Just sitting, having conversations, talking about things. When your
Right.
phone goes off.
Oh, do you mind? I think she needs me.
Go ahead.
And pick up the phone and answer. Hey, hun,
Joe,
talk to me.
I could do this.
How's that?
I thought I could do this.
You can, you are.
The only thing I could think about is how much I've missed out on them. How unfair all of this was.
Well, yeah, it's damn unfair. But are you really going to miss more because of how scared you are?
Joe, they're beautiful. Both of them.
Of course they are. Look at their parents.
Shut up.
No, I will not. Listen,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about being a parent, but as far as I can figure, the best part about kids is unconditional love and acceptance. Yes, you were gone for 4 years, but they're just happy to have you back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sis, you know I've got you.
Thank you.
I want you to get off the phone. I want you to go downstairs. I'm assuming you're upstairs, sliding down the door in your bathroom. You're somewhere hiding, aren't you? Mm-hmm. Okay. Go downstairs.
Mhm.
Hug your partner. And you hug those kids so tight that they squirm out to get from underneath you.
Thank you, sis.
Always.
She'll hang up. She'll get up, wipe her tears off, look at herself in the mirror, reach over, flush the toilet, wash her hands, and then head downstairs.
You make it downstairs and you realize you've been in there for a few minutes because Tyr is walking in with the Italian delivery.
My apologies. But kids, how about you go sit at the table? Me and your dad will start taking this stuff out.
The kids nod and run over to the kitchen and adjacent dining room because it's connected, and start setting the table. Tyr walks over holding a bag full of Italian and with the free arm just pulls you in and hugs you.
Mhm.
Would it make things easier if I stepped upstairs, shaved, and put everything else on?
No. No. You only do that if that's what you want to do. I'm fine with you just the way you are. Any way you want to present, any way you want to be, anything. I'm fine with you. I love you too.
Me too. Come on, let's eat.
And she will not eat that much, but she will just constantly be asking the kids questions about like school and their friends and their favorite activities they did during the summer. You know, she's trying to get as much out of these kids as she can in the brief hours she has before she knows she has to put them to bed.
I want you to roll me composure and
Can't sink a willpower into this.
Yes, you can put a willpower into this. Sorry.
Okay.
I thought that was a statement rather than a question. Cool. So over the course of this conversation, you feel an outpouring of joy radiating off of your kids. And you gain 7 glamour from this conversation.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely full up. Actually, over.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
I can only.
You can only go to max, but if you you overfill on glamour, roll me resolve and composure.
Okay. Okie dokie. Resolve, composure, and no modifiers. Cool.
You ever been drunk on literal joy?
Can't say I have, but I'm going to assume it's something like turning into an absolute child along with them.
Probably, yeah. Their sheer happiness and joy at seeing you again is literally infectious, and you find it overwhelming your senses. Over the course of this conversation.
So after dinner, she will tell the
for
kids.
this scene, you suffer a tilt. Or a condition.
Okay. I also get a beat for fulfilling my long-term aspiration. I also get one for earlier for hashing things out with Joe.
It's not quite the right condition, but it is close enough. You gain the wanton condition for this scene.
Oh, okay.
Which is close enough to overdosing on joy as I can probably get. But while that conversation is going on, while that conversation is going on, meanwhile, Jackson and Joe, what are you guys up to?
Jackson, I think, has left. Stowed Lisa somewhere, or Frank if they've turned into Frank eventually.
It will have been about 12 hours from the point of Frank using their Lethapomp ability before Lisa's able to calm down enough to return to Frank.
Okay, so Lisa is stored somewhere. Just put into a room, given something to keep them occupied.
Ball of yarn.
I'm glad you clarified because I definitely thought Jackson was just going to shove her in a box and put her in a closet somewhere.
No, that's how you end up with bodies, and that's why that's why Lisa isn't allowed to look in the trunks. But no, just put so they're taken care of, they're sort of out of the way. And Jackson will quietly excuse themselves to do some sewing work, leaving those two the front room.
So, Joe,
Mm-hmm.
it's you, James, and presumably Frisians in a room somewhere.
Right.
Frisian staring out a window somewhere is fine.
Frisian's passed out somewhere.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
Frisian's laid up somewhere so he can, deal
Different
with the bleeding.
spot than Lisa is.
Oh my god.
The last thing we need is for Frisian to wake up and like they now have like the single mohawk strip, or they have a dick drawn on their cheek, or something like that.
I just picture what I picture is like Frisian waking up and like how like the all those pictures of like, this is how my cat woke me up, and like the cat is like on
Yep.
top of your fucking lungs and staring into your soul. Like
Yep.
I feel like that's what Lisa would be doing. Just be like, "Oh, honey, you're awake."
You're not wrong.
That's the wrong kind of cat girl for that fantasy.
Anyway,
So, yeah, what are you up to, Joe?
well, in the conversations with James, something she can't, something that's been on the back of her mind. So you said everybody was taken that was there.
Yeah.
Including your parents.
Mm-hmm. Wrong accent. Uh-huh.
Do you do you know anything about what happened to them?
I don't know all the details regarding what happened to them with them. I can only surmise they're still in there. I don't think they had what we had as a reason to want to break out same way. It takes a strong thread to be able to pull yourself enough up to break out of that situation. And I'll be honest, my parents have been empty people for a long time.
I can see that. I mean, it's all, all harsh feelings aside, it's unfortunate to, live a life like that.
I wouldn't wish it on anybody. But I'm also not. If I'm being honest, I'm not in any rush to storm Arcadia to bring him back.
And that was going to be my next question. So is that it then? Do you want to even consider looking for them, or if it happens, it happens, or?
I might look for him in the hedge. I'm not going toe to toe with the Fae for their sake, though. Your sake, any day of the week. Them, let's just say I've chosen my family.
Right. On the one hand, your parents, but through your parents, but on the hand, I understand. Maybe I understand now better than I ever did. That family is who you choose, and not just what you're born to.
I wouldn't turn away given the opportunity to help them if it appeared in front of me,
Of course.
but I'm not going to throw myself in that much danger for their sake.
Well, you have to ask, would they do the same for you?
Fuck if I know. I'm inclined to say no. Knowing them,
Sorry.
they'd probably just write it off as a loss and have another kid.
I'm sorry. Nobody should have to feel like that. I mean, family's not perfect, but at least I always knew I was wanted.
I don't get the feeling that I was wanted as a child so much as I was wanted as a thing to carry on a legacy. I was their form of immortality.
Oh, you kind of turned it on its head, didn't it?
Yeah, now they get to live forever.
You get to be a motherfucking dragon. I don't care what they ended up being. There's nothing cooler than that.
I tend to agree.
Well, in the sewing room, Jackson just says to himself, "Oh look, the Straits are figuring out how found family works."
So again, I won't know until I talk to. Well, I don't think even Cassandra knows what the winter. It was winter, wasn't it? Winter Court was looking.
Yeah, Wintercourt was looking for your
24 was
fetch, yeah.
looking. Okay. As we don't know what Winter Court has found, and we only know the briefest of information about the fetches of you and your parents, I mean, if you ask Marlena, she'll tell you what she plans to do to her fetch, and rightfully so. The only question is, what about us? Or them, or
Frankly,
do?
I'd be satisfied with them just leaving us the fuck alone, but I don't think that's an option, considering they've already sent Hobbs to try and kill me.
They definitely have latched onto your existence, it seems. Who sends fucking hobgoblins? I mean, damn.
Apparently fetches if they got the pull. It makes me wonder what the fuck they're paying them. Like, hobgoblins, they don't take money like regular people do.
But even if they had the funds of the Arbor family, it wouldn't mean much to hobgoblins.
Yeah, like, Hobbs trade in weird deals. Glamour, fucking pieces of cloth, the memory of your last orgasm. I don't fucking know.
You've done your research.
Like I said, I know more about the hedge than I do about anything on this side as far as changelings go. I've been to a goblin market before.
Had the pleasure.
It's a dangerous place, but you can find all sorts of weird shit there.
It's not exactly on my bucket list, so.
Where I found my sword.
Your what?
He indicates to the sword still on his back.
Oh, yeah. How'd you learn to use that?
Practice. Lots of practice.
You were terrible at first, weren't you?
I was fucking awful. But I needed a sharp object to keep between me and hobgoblins.
I'm sorry, is this euphemism y'all talking about?
No, it's quite literal.
I told you the walls were thin.
But after a good while of getting the shit kicked out of me and breathing fire on anything that got too close, I eventually learned how to swing this thing right.
You know, it's kind of a relief. Because I thought I'm still not entirely convinced that I wasn't cursed, but I felt as the wind, I couldn't hold on to anything. I could never stay in one place, and that I was always sent to destroy and never to build. And as someone who takes promises and vows very seriously, I very angry. I never considered the other side until you pointed it out.
Like I said, you didn't just break things. You metaphorically and quite literally lifted me up.
Just wish I could have known it was you.
Frankly, I don't know if I knew it was me for a lot of that time.
That's fair. You know, I was so afraid to go in that damn hollow. I thought I was going to get trapped again.
I think it was more the hedge putting things back in the order it's supposed to be.
I just didn't want to believe anything on that side could be nice.
Well, the hedge ain't nice, but it is a fantastic storyteller. It knows the ups and downs. And a story's no good if it's all down notes.
Yeah, it's guess that's how it also worries me is if this is uphill, what's downhill?
I know. I'm not looking forward to it, but I think with the two of us together, we can handle just about anything.
I mean, rather fight by your side than live in peace without it.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Are you satisfied, Marlena?
I'm sorry, what? I'm not paying attention. Yes.
Lies.
I don't know what you are talking about.
We're being very sweet and romantic. Should we tone it down a bit?
Just tell me when I need to put my headphones in.
Those aren't gonna work.
Turn
I was
them
say
up
it's a
loud enough.
dragon. You think you're not going to hear that?
You turn them up loud enough, they will block fucking anything out.
Look, I'm just going to point you at the draconic Kith blessing.
If it's not going to destroy the house, in which case we have a whole other problem.
Yeah, it really would be like doing it at my parents' house.
Yeah, we can absolutely just wait until we make it back to the Hollow for anything.
I think that's best. Like, I love you, and
Oh, absolutely. No, I completely understand.
but yeah. Knock on the wall again. Marlena,
Yes.
we gonna eat?
I'm sorry, am I supposed to be cooking something for you?
I was asking if you got any food. I can cook something. You got any food around
Yes, I have food. Comes out of the for the Lord's sake, I got food. We have eaten stuff here.
I'm a little bit convoluted, okay? Give me a break, even though I know you're not going to.
I'm just saying, yes, that is food. There's also that wonderful app that was introduced to me.
And which one would that be?
I don't remember whether it was Grubhub, DoorDash, or Uber Eats, but it was one of them that one of you two.
I think it was DoorDash.
I think
that,
probably DoorDash, yeah.
I can't remember.
Regardless,
So, honey, you want to brave the kitchen, or do you want to order food?
I'm up for whatever. Let's shall we check and see what's in the kitchen first?
Yeah, probably best.
So, Jeremy, what is your kitchen stocked
don't-
with?
I'm sorry, I do not go through. I do not figure out, just like I do not figure out everything that's in the backpack of my D&D character.
Fair enough. I was just curious if you had like a specific style, like a whole lot of like
Who fucking
Italian,
asked you that
like
question?
Italian ingredients, or just like basic prepped meals, or like, you know.
No, I imagine I imagine it is a good mix
Mhm.
of stuff. Like, she's not incapable of cooking by any stretch of the imagination.
Probably like this, like they easy to make.
But yeah, there's also a lot of like really easy to make or just chuck it in the microwave stuff.
Freezers full of microwave meals and stuff that's like easily thawed out, and then refrigerators got a whole bunch of ingredients for like sandwiches
Yeah.
and basic meals, and some more cooking intensive stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. No, Katie, nobody has ever asked, like, what is everything in your backpack? I'm referring to the worst D&D DMs are like, all right, tell me every spell component you have. And if you don't have that particular spell component, we'd better do a side quest that's going to take a session and a half for you to get that back guano or whatever the fuck it is.
What?
You need
There-
that guano and
Fireball uses
sulfur
back-
for.
Yeah, for Fireball.
There are
Oh.
DMs who are very, very nitpicky about making sure that you have all of whatever that you might need and so on, to the point that it
Gotcha.
turns D&D into like a resource management game.
Which is why for so long I didn't play it.
Yeah,
Because
I'm not here to bookkeep.
That's what the component pouch item or even the arcane focus is
Exactly.
for.
Exactly. But yeah,
Okay.
You find a decent spread of various things that can be used, either instant meals or stuff that can be made into easy meals.
yep.
You know
I-
what? Let's just do a frozen pizza.
Easy enough. Hang on. I have literally always wanted to try this trick. I've only done it very lightly previously.
Wait, what?
As James sort of takes the frozen pizza out and sort of like pulls it out of the box and sort of lays it on a tray and just like very lightly takes an inhale and just like blows a gust of flame over the pizza. A moment passes and he sort of looks at it. Hey, thawed already. Look at that.
Odd, but is it edible?
I mean, it's cold. It's
It
about
is
the
not cooked. You
it's-
cannot cook that way.
no. It's about the consistency of, you know, cold pizza that you had, but we can actually cook it the rest of the way. Just skip the thawing
I
process.
mean, don't get me wrong. That's a very neat trick, but yeah, I prefer the pizza a little bit more cooked.
Open stove.
I just want
the
to try it.
pilot lights out.
I just
All
wanted to
right.
try it. I like you hear stories of people who have, you know, fantasy stories of people who have fire powers using it to cook, and I wanted to try it.
No, like by all means, like
It's adorable.
do your tricks. Yeah, that's fine.
And like I said, I skipped the thawing process, so you know, not completely useless.
Sure. So,
And I mean, he did legitimately shave like 15 minutes of thawing out of that.
yeah. I feel like there might be some scorching though.
Not much. It makes the crust crispy.
Yeah. So you are having I don't know what that was, but that was not what I normally do. So I know y'all having a wonderful moment, and I appreciate that. Do
But
we have plans at this point?
Was that a question or a statement?
Do we have plans at this
Okay,
point?
question.
as in we as a motley, we as in me and James, we as in the people sitting in this room.
Pick one. We do not have plans as a motley as a whole. I think that is fair to say right now, because for understandable reasons.
Well, Friesling's out of commission.
Uh-huh.
Tier are doing a family thing.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa stowed away somewhere.
Lisa is fine.
I believe you. Kind of.
Lisa is perfectly fine. I would not allow any harm to come under my roof.
Did you at least give her a ball of yarn?
I gave her something to keep occupied with. It'll be okay.
A mirror with a bell attached to it.
Anyway, what is next up for us?
Well, we were talking about if we what we needed or wanted to do with the fetches.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know we have a plan for yours. And I don't know about mine quite yet, but I know Winter Court's working on it. But as James pointed out, the fetches must be pretty serious on his end if they're sending hobgoblins out to get rid of us.
Oh yes, even more so than mine. Yours need to die. Your families and so on.
I don't think it's a competition.
No. What I am saying, I didn't say it was. Claws back. What I was saying was simply an observation that is almost more urgent because while mine is a monster and will die slowly and painfully, mine has not sent an assassin after me
That's a
Yeah.
fair
yet. Yet. Give it time, but one does not send one assassin fails and be like, oh well, I guess we are done.
What's the next step after hobgoblins?
More hobgoblins,
I mean, yeah, in my experience,
more
it's been more
skilled
hobgoblins.
hobgoblins, bigger, more dangerous. Eventually, I would not put it past if they can somehow send word notifying a keeper. Here's where you can collect your errant.
From what I understand from the conversations I've had with hobgoblins, fetches are just as scared of them as we are. I don't know why I didn't get all that information out of them, but I think that'd be a like absolute last resort kind of thing.
Absolutely, probably. If that's the case, then probably. But still, if it comes down to it, my point being, we need to deal with that situation quick. And there's an added bonus, and while I say this with no negative implication,
Well, now I know you do.
no, absolutely not. I just know how it's going to be received, little Miss Defensive. But the sooner we dispatch your fetches, the sooner you get access to a whole lot of resources and perhaps your own place to live. I am beyond happy having you here. But even for me, this is a temporary place until I dispatch my own fetch, and then I have a mansion, apparently.
Maybe we can be neighbors.
If your fetches live right next to my fetch, then we may just need to napalm that whole area and just leave it at that.
Well, I was talking about post fetch assassination. We could move into a house in your neighborhood.
Alternately, if they do live next to each other, we take one out, that's a staging ground to go after the other. Huh.
I
Anyways,
don't think it's going to be that easy.
I mean, my old house was in sort of the wealthy area, so it's a possibility.
Sort of a wealthy area. Jesus.
You know our old house. I mean, you might not. I barely have memories of it, but still.
so we've got the fetch situation. What else? continued integration with Freehold
Pardon?
on whatever schedule we want that to be.
The what? I'm sorry.
The Freehold.
Yeah, I haven't met anybody on this side. So
Is there a reason for that?
mostly because I've been running and hiding and spending most of my time wandering the hedge rather than
All
out
right.
here.
So not because there's something that you know that is that gives you very good pause or anything like that.
No, I've just been sort of a wild man these past few
All right.
months.
Fair enough, fair enough. Well, it would be good to get you introduced and perhaps on a schedule, whatever schedule we are comfortable with, becoming more integrated with and finding our courts and all that nonsense. Definitely need to figure out a better option for Frank and Lisa other than wait till Lisa pops out and then do damage control every second of every day. Every second of that period. You know what I mean. And we need to drag Frizzy and kicking and screaming to dealing with some of his stuff. Because he's certainly not going to do it on his own. And he thinks he's being subtle and clever by not saying anything, and he is not. That's what I see. I don't know if there's anything else.
No, I think you pretty much covered a lot of it. Sorry, like you said the thing about hobgoblins notifying the keepers, and I
I'm not saying it's likely. All I am saying,
look around you. My husband's a fucking dragon. I'm the fucking.
I'm aware.
What about any of
I'm,
it likely?
I am aware, but there are what we have encountered and what has happened to us is unlikely. This is true. But not unlikely in the same way that that is unlikely.
I've just got everything back. I don't.
Listen,
Worrying
I
about
say
hypotheticals
things.
is only going to get you upset, Joel.
I say things because I am used to looking at what is the worst that can happen so that we are prepared for it.
See,
I've done this my entire life. I will continue to do it. It is just the way that life has built me. That doesn't mean that it is going to happen. It is not something that we necessarily need to be afraid of. It's just something that we need to know is a potential possibility. And until we get any indication that that possibility is more than just a slap possibility, then we deal with it. That's all it is.
why do I feel like I'm being ganged up on?
You're not being ganged up on. You're feeling like it because you have feelings of you have feelings of persecution that comes very naturally to you. Oh, I'm sorry. Was I not supposed to notice that over the last time that we've come to that we have the time that we have spent together? Because it's true and it's fine.
I've just been waiting for you to say something positive.
There's a whole lot that's positive about you. You know it. I know it.
James just leans over. Is it as annoying when she's right?
Is it what?
So James leans over. Is it as annoying when she's right? I didn't hear what you said there.
I said you have no idea. Why do you think I felt like I was being surrounded? Because it's like, dude, it's like, you know, my mother and my husband are on one team, and I'm just like, yeah.
Believe me, I understand. Like I said, I am part of the community that's dealt with that for a very long time. And we get many I've had many people who've felt that way. It is totally rational and irrational at the same time. It is understandable, is perhaps a better way to put it. The thing to just keep in mind is that when those feelings come up, just make sure that there's not your instincts overriding your common sense. When it's Cassandra or me, James, the rest of us, if you're starting to feel that way, it might be the irrational. And just take a moment, make sure before you start reacting.
Ding! Hey, look, the pizza's ready. Let's fucking eat.
Wonderful.
And at that point, that is where we're going to end for the week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.